Okay, everybody ready? Call the meeting to order. I'll ask District Attorney Powell to lead us in the...
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody, to the September meeting of the Prison Board of Lackawanna County. We're here at the prison, as we do every quarter. So I trust everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes which were distributed in advance of the meeting. And if so, I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading and adopt them as circulated.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The August 21 meeting minutes are approved. Anybody from the public wish to address the board on agenda items? Okay, I see nobody coming up to the podium, so we'll move on to the agenda and the motions. The first motion is a motion to approve all the current payables for the Community Corrections Center and the prison.
Motion.
I trust everybody's had an opportunity to review those. So I did have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question?
Yes, on the question, Judge, in auditing the payables for this month, the prison business office made a duplicate entry in the amount of $26,125. It's not been paid yet. It's on page 31 out of 33 of our payable list. It's for the Summerhill Law Firm Group, who oversees our prison's federal prisoner reimbursement rate, and only one of those will be paid. So the total amount of the payables should be reduced by $126,125. Just a note.
It's a big note. Thank you for catching that. So is it called to the attention in a timely way?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else on the question? All right. All in favor of the motion to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. With that correction by the controller, the payables will be approved. Next item on the agenda, I will note, we conducted a work session of the prison board on this Monday past, and a large segment of that time was spent talking about this next item. There's a motion to approve and authorize the use of canteen funds to purchase ebooks and audiobooks from Overdrive for use in our GTL ViaPath inmate tablets. This has been, the topic of a lot of discussion over the months about the status of the library and the availability of reading materials for, the inmates. And I believe last meeting, the warden talked about a program through ViaPath. ViaPath is I don't know if it's a successor, but it's what used to be GTL, our communications provider, and the provider of the tablets. So essentially, this would be to expand, and Tim, you can explain this in greater detail than I, but the essence of it is to expand the availability of what inmates can have at their disposal to read. Please.
Yes. What this offer is a company called Overdrive that works with Viapath, and they're in all the state prison systems for an electronic library.
Can you
They
keep
have-
your voice up, Tim, for those behind you, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. They have over 5,000 different publishers that would then become available through an ebook system on the inmate tablet system that we have in place here. Again, it's a statewide library, and it's something that the board will be voting on since, well, if there is a motion. I just want to let everybody know that this doesn't rule out the possibility of having an actual hard book, soft covers, but hard book library itself. I'm not opposed to that. This is just something that we can put into place rather quickly. Phone call, signature, we can get this going real quick, a lot quicker than getting segregating an area to have for a more traditional soft cover book library that we would also
Not to the exclusion of a physical library
exactly.
or physical library space within the prison.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I will also note, and maybe Commissioner, you can talk about, we invited a representative of the Scranton Public Library to our work session.
Yeah, so Sandy Longo came to the work session. She's the executive director of the library, and we talked about two different things. Number one was the library, and I think Warden, you can speak in a minute to the fact that we looked at these free apps, and we talked about why not just use the public library system. And I think you can speak in a minute or two to the reasons why we are not able to do that because of security reasons through these tablets. So that was the first thing. The second thing that I thought was really good was they are offering up their services to screen prisoners for dyslexia and offer other services through the library for free on a volunteer basis, which I thought was great. So if you want to speak to that, speak to that.
Sure. Yeah, with the company Viapath, the tablets are theirs, and they have exclusive control over the contents that are on that. And I don't know if it's a proprietary issue or what the case is, but the only one they can deal with is the Overdrive. Regarding this other possibility, as a correctional institution, we do have issues with allowing internet access inside the building itself. There are legitimate security concerns that are involved with that. And as Commissioner Gaughan had mentioned, I'm thrilled with that idea of an assessment being done by folks for literacy abilities. And it's something that I would like to see move forward. And I'll reach out to some of the other groups that come in here to see if anybody can provide any type of assistance, because we already have needs assessments that are going on. I just don't know how in-depth they are when it comes to literacy related matters, and it's something I'll get coordinated in the next week or so.
And Sandy Longo's, the previous administration created a literacy committee, county literacy committee, which I thought was a great idea. And Sandy sits on the board. And I think a lot of the members on the committee are interested in helping out as well.
Yes.
So it's great.
And David, I think you pointed out at our work session that the contract that we have with GTL contains an exclusivity provision.
It does, in fact, Your Honor. One of the discussions was logistically and technologically how we could make use of the library system to bring books in, and we sort of walked through a variety of different ways. Would it not able to do it through Viapath and would have to use different mechanisms which contractually we're precluded from using. So that's sort of a non-starter there.
Okay, so the particulars of the proposal would be, Tim, and you can present this, but it's an initial upfront charge of $21,000 for the first year, and then $16,000 annually to join this statewide program.
Yeah, they base that annual fee off of our average daily population. They estimated we run around 800. We're a little under 800 so far this year, but that's what where they're coming up with the 16,000. It comes out to $20 per inmate is how they do the annual fee.
Okay. And this would be available to all inmates irrespective of what they might have. This is coming.
The only time there would be any cutoff with that is we don't allow tablets when people are in restrictive housing.
Okay.
Of course, that's for limited time periods.
Okay. And this is a 1-year deal with options to renew?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll read from their offer. Viapath will provide Lackawanna County prison inmates with access to the latest and greatest ebooks and audiobooks from over 5,000 different publishers. No cost to the inmates. And as Tim pointed out, it's already on the tablets.
And Judge, it should be noted that by using canteen funds, there's no cost to the taxpayer.
Correct.
Canteen funds are commissions derived from inmates' purchases from our commissary. And it's a very appropriate use of canteen funds for this type of expenditure, I believe.
Okay. So do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. Second.
And we have a second on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. How soon can we flip the switch, I suppose is.
I will contact folks from Viapath today, and I'll get an answer on that. I really think, like you just said, flip the switch. I really think might be as easy as hitting a button.
We need to send a contract to the commissioners.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I work on that. Then we'll get that
Okay.
switch flipped.
And it's very secure.
Yes. Yeah. Sheriff, as I said before, it's in all the state correctional
Yes.
institutions,
We talked about
and
that.
if it's secure there, we're going to have the same system here.
Okay, so next we'll go to the report of the controller, Mr. DiBileo.
Yes, Judge. Controller's report of the prison inmate and canteen accounts for August 2024. The Controller's office has reviewed the prison inmate and canteen account reconciliations which were prepared by the Prison Business Office for the month of July 2024 and found no discrepancies between the reconciliations and the bank statement. The balance in the inmate account was $497,139.70 as of August 31st. The balance in the canteen checking account was $449,322.70 as of August 31st. In addition, as of July 31st, the canteen account also included a balance in the Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust investment account of $923,311.83, earning approximately $4,000 per month, which will mature in January 2025. And during the month of August 2024, $86,658.24 was paid from the canteen account for the benefit, welfare, and education of county inmates, and a detailed list of those items are attached to my report. And lastly, the $525,000 payment coming to our county prison for federal inmates, which was originally paid to another county in error and caught by my office, specifically my deputy Reggie Mariani, is on its way to us as we speak. Checks in the mail.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. DiBileo? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve his report.
So moved.
Do I have a second
Second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The controller's report is approved. Thank you, Mr. DiBileo.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to the Community Corrections Center report. Mr. McConaughey.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the house arrest report for the month of August. Programs totals. House arrest had 172 participants. Juvenile had 18. Programs revenues, house arrest had $57,397.61. Juvenile had $3,490, with the total of $60,887.61. Year-to-date totals for both departments is $478,944.46. Programs expenses were $59,146.92. Programs completions were 31. Programs violations were 8. We still have 5 outstanding house arrest warrants out. Budget report overall, overtime is at 63%, expenses at 68%, and revenues at 71%. That's the end of the report.
Any questions for Mr. McConaughey? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve his report.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Norm.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we'll go to the warden's report.
Good afternoon, everyone. The average daily population for August was 747 inmates. 604 were county inmates. We averaged 653 adult males, 8 juvenile males, and 86 adult females. And the average daily population of U.S. Marshal detainees was 143. Our overtime and out-of-county boarding reports are attached. The staffing update, currently our CO numbers break down to 168 full-time officers on shift, 5 out on workers' comp, 1 on continuous FMLA, 90 with intermittent FMLA, 0 on administrative leave. We have 6 full-time officers in basic training right now, and we have 2 full-time vacancies and 9 part-time officer vacancies. That's 182 full-time correctional officers. A new class of 10 cadets, 7 full-time and 3 part-time, started their in-house training on 9/9/24, and this is a 5-week training course, and we anticipate having them graduate on October 11th. Once they successfully complete basic training, they'll be placed on shift into regular schedules. Budget as of August 31st, revenue was at 59% and expenses were at 67%. Extraordinary occurrence reports. There was 1 extraordinary occurrence report in the month of August. On August 10th, an individual showing signs of agitation and aggression. Staff attempted to de-escalate the situation and remove him from the day room of his housing unit. However, his behavior escalated, and staff had to place him in the emergency restraint chair for the safety of all involved. PREA, there was 1 PREA investigation completed in the month of August. It was an allegation of inmate sexual harassment, and it was deemed unfounded. The completed investigation has been forwarded to the DA's office for further action if deemed appropriate. Personnel, I'm seeking authorization for the hiring of those individuals I mentioned earlier in the basic training class. Is it okay to mention all of them by name? I'll mention all their names. We have those that are in for both full and part-time officer positions. Stephen Bornia, Connor Deary, Shaniqua Murray, Lackawanna Obas, Jared O'Hearn, Rebecca Sinclair, Tyreen Williams, Jay Berlinski, Christian Castaneda, and Justin Ramirez. And I'm hopeful that we can have a motion and a vote on those 10 individuals. And this concludes my report.
Any questions for the warden? On anything? Okay. Is there a motion to hire the individuals that he just listed?
So moved.
Do I have a second? I have a second on that question. These people have all been through your normal interview and vetting process?
Yes,
Okay.
they've all completed a pre-employment drug screening.
Okay.
That we've gotten state police criminal history checks done on them.
Okay.
They've done a tour of the institution. They've been interviewed. They passed all those.
Okay.
How many of them are full-time?
Right now, 7.
7 of them?
Yeah.
right. So there's a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. They'll be approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody from the public wish to address the board? Thomas?
Good afternoon, my name's Tom McHugh. I'm calling, I'm stopping by, I'm chairman of the Lackawanna County Reentry Task Force. Haven't been here in a while, so I just wanted to stop by, give a little bit of an update of what, how the task force, some of the things the task force has been doing. We have a couple of subcommittees. We have an outreach and a mentoring subcommittee. That subcommittee meets every second and fourth Thursday of the month down at St. Luke's Church down on Wyoming Avenue. And that's we have a peer-to-peer group. Returning citizens run a program down there for other people just coming out of prison. And it's a support group to help them be successful in their reentry and to help point out some potential resources that are in the community that somebody might be looking for. So we have those meetings every second and fourth Thursday of the month down at St. Luke's. I think it starts at 5:30. They go from 5:30 to 7. We
How's
have a
your
couple
attendance, Tom, on that?
Pardon?
How are your numbers on that?
fair.
Okay.
Fair. But I'm trying to promote that a little bit more. I think the more everyone knows about the programs, what's available, I appreciate it. I think the last meeting I wasn't here, but I was home and excited about looking at it. And you mentioned to somebody about looking into the task force for some support, some help, and that got me going, saying I should stop by and make sure everybody knows a little bit more about what we do and how we do it. So I appreciate the mention last meeting. So the peers run the meeting. We have people representing different resources in the community that come to the meeting. We sit at the meeting, but it's actually run by other returning citizens, which adds a little bit of credibility to the information that's going around and everything like that. So it's a pretty decent meeting. If one person comes and we could help one person, then that's what counts. We've had some people from probation stop by and were guest speakers and talked about what they were able to do. I know Deputy Warden Toledo was at one of our meetings, and it was a very informative meeting. So it's nice to have those types of meetings. It's ongoing, second and fourth Thursdays of the month. If anybody ever wants to stop by and address the meeting or something like that, just let me know. We're more than happy to sign you up, and it's nice. What we'll do, we usually if we have a speaker, we try to promote ahead of time who the speaker is and what they're going to be, what the topic is, so we can try to get some better attendance at the meetings.
Tom, did you say the second and fourth Tuesday or
Thursday? Did I say Tuesday? Thursday. Yep. We also have a mental health and substance abuse subcommittee, and I know some of you might be familiar. We just finished packing over 100 backpacks with a lot of information and resources for the community that should be sitting either here or out at the next door. So people coming out will get one of those backpacks if they want it, and that'll help them maybe survive a day or two with some of the real basic essentials that they need, plus some other contact information for resources in the area, in the community. And then finally, we have a housing subcommittee. We just finished our Lackawanna County Reentry Task Force Second Chance Festival down at the courthouse, and we kind of have that festival every year to let people know who we are and what we do. We have a whole bunch of different resources available that show up and have tables to disseminate information to the public. Our bottom line is we want to have that program so we can solicit some sponsorship so we can get some funds. I know Commissioner Chermak, I know the DA's office, DA Mr. Powell has been very helpful and supportive in the past supporting these efforts. To date, we probably have close now to about $9,000 or $10,000. And that money, people that are looking to come back and re-enter into the community have to have an approved home plan. And what we try to do with that money is help them identify safe, affordable housing. As most of us know, there's some affordable housing in the community that may not be the safest place for somebody returning. There are also some safe housing that may not be the most affordable. So what we do, we raise these funds every year, and it's a process that we go through. If somebody's interested and gets referred to us, they fill out an application, we go through a form, and we were able to provide between $600 and $1,000 to help the returning citizens overcome that first month's rent and the security deposit. As you know, it might be difficult for some people to have that kind of funding just coming out of prison. And they might be sitting here because they can't get an approved home study because they don't have that safe, affordable housing. So we have that money available this year. I want to make people aware of that. So if there's ever a situation that somebody's saying, we got a place to go, but we can't afford to go there, the Ranger Task Force is always available to see if we can help out. The more money we have, the more money we were able to help people get out. But we have a little bit of money now, and we look forward to trying to help some people get out and back out in the community successfully. That's it. Any questions? Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody else? Bev? I want everybody to know that I got an email from Bev at 2:40 a.m. today. I was not awake to receive it at the time, but she was awake to send it.
Bev DeBarro, Scranton, and Judge Gibbons always answers my emails. I am so thankful for that. So yesterday I talked to a woman in Bible class. She didn't know she could register to vote because she's here from another state. And I said, yes, we could. And then we would be able to do that. And her second comment was, well, I probably shouldn't vote because I don't have enough information about who's running. So I said, well, there was a presidential debate on TV. If ECTV could get a recording of that and if it could be put on the tablets, would that help you? And she said yes, very much. So that was just yesterday. I haven't talked to Mark or anybody yet, but and also I haven't heard if there's a vice presidential debate scheduled, but I know that we vote separately for the president and the vice president. So could we do that if ECTV can do that? How?
You mean put the debate
Put it
on?
on the ECTV, I guess runs all the TVs in the blocks. And
From a technology standpoint, I don't know if that's something that's doable. We can look at it.
I know one time Mark ran something for me that I thought was important, and he said it was right when he was changing his format for the for the next month, and he had some empty space there that did I have any requests, and he did it, and it was good. So it's possible.
We'll see what he says. And,
Okay, I will. And then
there is one scheduled. I just don't know what the date of it is for vice president.
pardon me?
There is a debate scheduled between the vice presidential
Oh, is
candidates,
there?
but I don't know what the date is or
Oh.
which network it's on.
Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. And one other thing about the benches. I heard that, well, I don't see benches in the yard, so now we're getting past the season of the cement being hot to stand or sit on, but now it'll be cold. And do they, in order to get fresh air, stand or sit on cement with no benches there? So another one of the women said that it was on the tablet for they could ask, is this true that, excuse me. They were asked their opinion. Did they want benches? I guess they could respond on the tablet. I don't know exactly how that was, but I don't think that happened when we put that exercise equipment in there for $5,000. That was just a done deal. And now benches, is it contingent on voting, on the inmates voting? I don't know how that's coming along.
I don't think it's a vote. I think that I think Deputy Warden Orzel maybe put out just like a little survey. I can't sit here and tell you that I'm familiar with what the results are, but I do remember a discussion that she was doing that. But it's not going to be a vote.
Okay,
It's not a democracy behind the wall here. And,
okay. So is this, then what are they using the results of the survey for?
just to see if there is, because, frankly, because you're asking about it, and so we thought that it would be okay to see if there's a real interest in it.
Because I know, like, was there a survey about this? It's the commissary money. It's their money, the profits from money they spent on the commissary. And so was there a survey about this book thing, which I'm very much in favor of the vote you took today about the books on the tablets, extra books. But there was money spent.
The benches are primarily a security concern.
In what way?
Well, they have to be fastened to the ground.
Right?
Okay.
Like the exercise equipment.
I don't think we go into detail on security issues other than the fact that they exist.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't understand. All I know is that in talking with the prison administration, they're not amenable to it because of primary security concerns.
Security?
Yeah,
And it's a bench.
I understand that.
Warden, is that the case?
Yes.
Could you explain how that would be a security?
I don't have the time to get into that right now, Ben.
We're not going to disclose that kind of stuff. Once we get into details of security, it exposes us to other vulnerabilities. It's not a topic of discussion.
Because everybody that I talk to thinks it's a good idea. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Maggie?
Liz.
Liz,
Actually.
sorry. Where's Maggie? She's not here?
Yeah, she's not. I'm not sure where she is.
All right. Okay.
I just had a couple questions, and maybe the board could offer some updates. One thing that just came to my mind when the warden was giving his report is the juveniles are being housed there. Are they on a separate unit?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, with separate showers and all that. Okay. Just something that came to my mind. Secondly, I was wondering if the board could provide an update on the review of the solitary confinement policy. That has been an ongoing discussion. I know, I think last we asked about it, you had said Ray Colleran sort of stepped aside from doing that review, and you were looking at somebody that had formerly worked in parole.
Dan DeMuth. And he's been in touch with the warden, and he's going over everything now.
Oh, okay. So it's
So-
currently in review?
In
the
process, yeah.
Okay, great. Does the board have an idea of when the public will be notified of the new medical contract renewal?
Public will be notified of it as soon as it's renewed, when it's decided.
Okay, so
To my knowledge, there hasn't been a decision on it yet.
so also still in the process.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm also wondering, I know last meeting I wasn't here, but I was able to watch it on YouTube. Thank you, Commissioner Gaughan, for being so adamant about clearing the classroom space. I'm interested in the plans for the use of the classroom space. Are you bringing back the GED program and other resources for incarcerated people?
Yeah, the plan is to return them to the use that they were undergoing prior to COVID. And as the warden just said today, there's people interested in coming in on a literacy program, and they are in use already for AA meetings on a regular basis, and so they will be freed up, and GED is on the agenda.
Okay. Could I ask the warden to maybe clarify what the pre-COVID programming was happening there? Just, it's been a while and just so,
It's been a while.
yeah.
I couldn't just rattle it off the top of my head. I know that we relied very heavily on what is now known as outreach. Back then it was EOTC, and a lot of the programming that they offered, various classes, life skills, responsible thinking, jumping to the front of my head, parenting. Jane is around someplace and can probably give a more detailed thing.
Okay. Is that maybe something that could be provided next month at the meeting, so we can just have an update on the, like, what the classrooms will be used for and what type of programming? I ask because I am interested in, you know, clearly I'm passionate about the well-being and like the betterment and of incarcerated individuals, lowering recidivism, offering resources, and so I'd like to volunteer. I've had clearance at the prison. I'd like to volunteer services to come in and offer some type of classroom, you know, or class for folks on a voluntary basis. Like to know, and I've also had a lot of dialogue with other people in the community who are interested in the same, coming in, and whether it's yoga, like art class, other types of educational programming, like somewhere along the lines of mental health service. I have a degree in business, so I can maybe offer like financial literacy or whatever is useful for incarcerated people, but it's something I'm interested in. A lot of other people in the community are interested in, and now with the newly available class space, it seems like something that would be more feasible, and we'd like to work with the prison and the prison board to be able to do that.
I think we'd like to work with you to be able to do it
Okay,
too.
great.
I don't sense or see any, you know, any opposition to a lot of that stuff. Obviously, as my late aunt used to say, the devil is in the details. But you know, I think you found the warden and the deputy wards to be open to approaching them, and so by all means, approach them.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
And then something you mentioned actually brought another question up for me. In the past, we've talked about how there's no AA or NA programming for the female individuals that are incarcerated here. Has that, I know Roz or whatever, Rozzy or Rizzo was doing the AA and NA for the men. Has programming become available for the women?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. That's awesome. And then I think I had one more question, but it's slipping my mind. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Eileen?
Eileen Acapinti, Dunmore. Thank you for the literacy, pursuing that. I appreciate that a lot. My concern on that still is the cost to the inmate. What are they still charged at all for use of the laptops or the phone? Because I know they're sort of one company. Like, can
That's
they?
scheduled to be free time, I believe.
I'm sorry.
Free time.
But is there
With the books, they're scheduled to be free time.
free time? They could read a book for however many hours, and that's all free.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that I knew you said free, but I didn't know if the time wise was another issue. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you all. Any members have any other business? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.